should have that.
I was in there pitching all the time. I had recently played in a film, Alexander the Great, just prior to making the pilot that they asked me to do. And I think I was infused with Alexander the Great, with the great general of Grecian times. So that Greek hero kind of thing appealed to me, and it was also appealed to my background. And I think I brought that. I called it the look of eagles, which is what heroes are supposed, statues have, isn't it? They look out, and that's what I felt would be this guy.
You know, all of the conversations I've had with your compatriots, too, that have been on our shows, all of them spoke of Roddenberry as very atypical of Hollywood, where he was totally open to an actor's opinions about what should happen, which was one of the reasons why they really loved doing the series. Your opinions counted in this series, whereas most of them, they don't.
Well, I don't know how true that is, but it certainly, Gene was unusual.
He was. Have a cachet for you if you're a stamp collector, and for our Star Trek fans, and you can have it for $99.75 or 3 payments of $33 1/4. Hello there, you're live on the air. What's your name, please?
Hi, my name is Debbie. I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Well, hello, Debbie. You sound like you're from the Deep South.
Yes, sir, I sure am.
Well, nice to have you with us. Please say hello to our guest.
Hello, Mr. Shatner.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm really well, and how are you?
I'm pretty good, and if you don't mind, I've always wanted to say this. Hello, Captain Kirk.
I've always wanted to say hello, Debbie.
Thank you very much.
There you go. What are we for you tonight?
I got the communicator pen.
A lot of folks have. In fact, they're getting close to selling out. This is the soundboard. This is very much like the one we had before, Debbie, but this one is the one that makes the sound.
Yes, sir, that's why I ordered it.
Is it something for you or for a guest?
It's definitely for me.
Going to wear it with your work clothes, or?
I'm going to wear it everywhere.
That's good. You know, you're going to like the magnet on this, too. It's very, very strong, so you don't have to worry about this falling off.
That's great.
Yeah, it's very difficult to pull apart. Well, we'll get it to you 7 to 10 days away, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. 1-800-345-1515, signed by William Shatner, the autographed cachet for the 25th anniversary of Star Trek. This is really a collectible that crosses boundaries. And remember, only the first 5,000 are actually signed by our captain, William Shatner. Put it on Easy Pay by the order of a credit card. 3 payments of $33.25. See 8880. And here is our original series autographed crew plaque. This is the ultimate Star Trek collectible. You could go to all the Star Cons in the world, and you would probably not be able to collect all 7 autographs. They're very difficult to get. Plus, you'd spend a lot more than $4.98 trying to go to all of them. $4.98 is the price, and for the first and only time this month, you're going to be able to pick this up at $498, split into 3 payments of $166 apiece. 1-800-345-1515.
Greetings, Earthlings. You're watching Star Trek on QVC.
Wednesday, find a variety of truly unique gift ideas on QVC. Daughter Helen Chen brings Chinese cooking expert Joyce Chen's stir-fry set your way during gifts under $50 at 7 a.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific. Don't miss a fascinating hour of Western jewelry at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. We'll be featuring the Storyteller collection of Native American-inspired designs with quite a history. Give the gift of magic this year when magician Mark Wilson shows you how in Ideas for Fun and Leisure at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 Pacific. Susan Graver coordinates at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific bring you an hour of colorful designs in mix-and-match career and casual wear. Famous jewelry designer Nolan Miller has created fabulous designs for many top celebrities. Don't miss his stunning Glamour collection at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. An hour of flannel and down at midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific treats you and your bedroom to stylish winter warmth. It's a delightful day of shopping, Wednesday with QVC.
welcome back to the Star Trek Collector Special. I'm Bob Bowersox. This is our second hour beginning for you right now. Our special guest is the man that created not only one hero, but he's created a lot of heroes in television. But he is James Tiberius Kirk to our Star Trek fans, William Shatner. Thanks for coming, Bill.
Thank you.
We were talking about this next item for you at dinner, and these are really another one of those unbelievable collectibles that you never you never get these any other way than watching a Star Trek Collector's Special. Only 2,950 of these uncut sheets exist in totality. There are no more than 2,950. We have every one of them. See, 10896, the 1979 trading card framed uncut sheets. They're brand new, and they're 148.50. Shipping and handling is $5.97. Now, I want to tell you something about these. Number one, uncut sheets are never available to the public. The company that put these together was Topps. They put them together in 1979 as a full series of cards. There were actually 88 cards in the original series that were all cut up. Uh-oh. That's that sound means we have a sellout. Red alert sound just sounded.
Oh, really? In your ear?
In my ear. We just sold out of the Star Trek soundboard pin. We are also going to hear that, I think, on this uncut sheets. These were actually 33 out of 88. Topps created them for a bread company. And the bread company would put one card in each loaf of bread. And of course, they would get all messed up and bent. And when you bought the bread, you get all the cards. And when you got them all, you had the full set. Thing was, they were never in pristine condition. This was one of only 2,950 sheets that were found in a vault in the company that was making these sheets. And we got every one of them. They are uncut sheets that are from the 1979 version. We just sold out of the movies, too. Red alert on all of them. All the movies have now sold out, that whole set of 5. Thanks for your calls. Now, these are coming to you framed as you see. Double matted, metal frame, and they are the front side of the collector's cards that were done. Only 2,950 ever, and they are the original cards. They're not reproductions, and they are uncut sheets. As I said, a complete set of 33 cards, a promotional item only, but this is the only way you'll get them, 148.50. Do you remember doing, like a baseball player, doing these cards?
No. My recollection of so much of Star Trek, the early Star Treks, is limited. It's been a long time, and the show was just a show at the time. Who knew that I'd be on the QVC network years later talking to you?
And something like this, for instance, the picture of James Kirk, which is, I'm looking at it upside down here, this one over here. This actually looks like they were taken right from the film that they shot, like it was a frame of film.
Probably was. I have no recollection of that.
Right.
Nor of the bread. I imagine they sliced the pictures up along with the bread, huh?
Probably did. I think it was La Pointe Bread, I think was the name of the company.
Really? Never even heard of the bread?
Never heard of the bread company either. And these are extremely collectible. I mean, you're talking about something that's not a reproduction. These were the actual ones put out in 1979. They were put out to promote the movie in 1979, the motion picture. And you see a lot of things on the cards that didn't end up in the movie. That's what's really amazing. They have to do these so far in advance. All the promotional things that they do for a film or even a series is done so much in advance that a lot of things end up on here. There are some aliens on here that were not in the movie.
Right.
And you'll see that these were probably something that they designed for the film, but they never got on the movie. And you're looking just at the front of the cards. If you were to very carefully take this apart, you can flip it over and see the backs of the cards. 148.50, brand new, and there are only 2,950 of these existing left in the world. And I would make a wager that there are probably no complete sets of these that anybody ever gathered, by buying La Pointe bread. I doubt anybody ever gathered the whole thing. So this is something that's really collectible. Hi there, this is Bob. You're live on the air. What's your name?
My name's Kitty, and I'm calling from Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania.
Hello, Kitty. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. Please say hello to our guest.
Hello, William Shatner.
Hello, Kitty.
Hi. I've been waiting for an hour to talk to you.
I'm glad you made it.
Thank you. It was a long wait, but it was worth it.
Who's that, Kitty?
That's my son, Matthew.
What is that's Matthew?
Yes.
Play the Star Trek theme. It'll keep him quiet.
Yes.
Is he the third generation of Trek fans?
Yes, he is.
Great.
Yes, he is. My mother is a Star Trek fan from the very first show, 25 years ago.
And we're going to work on Matthew, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. That's true.
Did you pick up something for Mom tonight, Kitty?
Yes, I did. I ordered J16144.
The pin.
Yes.
Got it right before it sold out.
Yes, I did.
Good.
Yes. And I also ordered J26486.
Which was?
That was the pin on the chain.
Oh.
The chain?
Yes, the Delta Shield necklace in titanium.
Yes.
That's for you?
That's for my mother also.
That's almost sold out. My producer, Tom, just let me know that one is almost completely gone. So I'm glad you were able to get that one, too.
Yes, I'm glad. Can William Shatner say hello to my mother, Cash? She is a...
What's her name?
Fan. Cash.
Pat?
Cash?
Cash.
Cash. She's
Cash.
a very big fan of hers.
How are you doing, Cash?
Thanks
She loves you so much. We have Star Trek stuff all over our house.
That's great.
We have collector plates and everything.
We're glad we could be of service to you and for your mom tonight. If there's anything for yourself, don't forget yourself now. Give us a call.
I won't. These are all Christmas presents.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
33 cards out of the original 88, and there's a plaque down here at the bottom that commemorates these. These are from 1979, and they are limited edition, and they're limited tonight. These are a true collectible for anybody that wants the originals. They're not reproductions. They were found in a vault. Some of them are actually just slightly yellowed with age, and this is the full set.
We hope it's with age.
Right. C10896 at 148.50. Still available, here is one of the actual trading cards that was printed by Topps when it was cut. This is the limited edition William Shatner autographed 79 trading card. Now, this is from the Topps company, and we had William Shatner sign it at $100 or 4 payments of $25 each. It's set in lucite, item C10909. Now, you have the choice of that one or the Captain Kirk's mission, which you will see, I don't know whether we'll show it to you right now, but you will see it a little bit later. Nich noch.
Prichtlak.
Yeah, very good.
Can't fool me.
That's right. Klingon is what we were speaking there, and here is the Bible for Klingon, and this is what I used to learn Klingon when I went out there to be a Klingon in Next Generation, and as I understand it, this was written for the folks by Mark Okrand and was what was referred to when you did that wonderful scene in Star Trek VI of to be or not to be in Klingon, and they spoke together. You have the actual dictionary, which includes all the verbiage in English to Klingon and Klingon to English, but it also has all the grammar. It actually teaches you how to speak Klingon. And this is an audio tape done by Michael Dorn, who is, of course, Worf on the Next Generation, and he teaches you by sound how to make all the sounds that are Klingon. $22.50 for both of them, T3869. They sold out the first and only time they were on the air. And this is done by Michael Okrand, who was another guest on the show. I think one of the most amazing things about Star Trek is that it has inspired people to create things like this. I mean, whole mythologies, whole physiologies of aliens, and here an entire language.
Really?
An entire language.
It's it's strange.
25 years ago, did you ever have any fun?
Oh, I knew.
You felt it was going to be a smash hit?
Oh, I knew that they were going to teach Klingon 25 years later.
Did the Klingons on the original series speak Klingon, or was it all English? Do you remember?
I think we put some sounds together.
Mm-hmm.
But this gentleman came along and kind of...
He actually did it. He is a linguist, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take a look in here, I mean, we can go in the back, and you can look at all of the... here's just, for instance, the S's. Maybe we can get a real close-up with the shot. Marie, can you get in on tight on this? And we'll see whether or not you can, because what's in here is, this is actually the English to Klingon dictionary. And the first one up top here is censor, which is noch.
Oh, I thought that was a dirty word.
A sergeant is a buch.
Is that right?
A buch. To be serious is slag.
So to be a serious sergeant
Is a slag. You can do all of that, and the one I liked, I learned this when I did my my bid as a Klingon. The one I
First of all, I understand you made an omelet, and you slapped it on your forehead.
Slapped it on the head. And let me see if I can find this. The one I really liked that I learned, and it is right in here, back here. If I can find the actual language. But it is called Surrender or Die. Can't find it, but
we're all holding our breath.
I know. Let's get that.
That sounds good.
Surrender or die. My producer Tom has a little bit of videotape for you to take a look at. This is me becoming a Klingon out there in Hollywood. There's the scrambled eggs, the omelet that Bill was just talking about.
It looks more like bouillabaisse at the moment.
Yeah. The makeup artist is Gil Mosco, one of the talented men at Paramount. He actually made me up as a film Klingon. It's a $5,000 Italian human hair wig.
A regal Klingon by Gil and Joy. I find my voice.
Somebody grew that on their own head,
about
and it became a Klingon wig.
Onward to the wardrobe department to complete.
I don't know what they would say if they knew.
Really nice, mild-mannered guy right here turns into that, right?
and you're not wearing your glasses.
And I'm not.
That
would
have been fun.
Yeah, I was tripping over there.
Klingon with glasses.
I was very careful on the set. There's a lot to trip over there. Hello there, you're live on the air. What's your name, please?
I'm Bonita Gillen.
Hello, Bonita, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I am really enjoying myself. We have the captain next to us. Say hello to William Shatner.
Hi, William.
Hello, Bonita.
And how are you doing?
I hope I'm doing well.
Oh, that's good. One of the reasons I really wanted to get through to you, Bob, is because you've had your sore throat.
Yes.
And I was going to tell you, I use Vicks Vapor Rub because I'm in sales.
Right.
And it really helps.
I have an inhaler.
Oh,
but
good.
actually, they have me on some steroids now to keep the inflammation down. So
wonderful. I'm
under medical supervision.
I'm glad to hear it.
DeForest Kelly called in and gave me the Bones McCoy gave me the prescription.
Oh, and one of the other reasons I wanted to tell you, you was saying someone had the hiccups the other night.
Sure.
Actually, the best thing for hiccups, you're not going to believe this, but you take a spoonful of sugar and some water, you'll get rid of them instantly.
I sort of had somewhat the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate you calling in. What did you purchase tonight?
I purchased the Delta Shield necklace.
It's a pretty one, made of titanium.
Right.
Is that for you? All righty. Well, we'll get it to you in 7 to 10 days, all right?
Okay.
And thanks a lot. Any questions for William?
No, except it's been a pleasure, and I hate to see you going off on it. I wish that you would still continue with it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
$22.50 for the Klingon Dictionary and Tape, and this is a great tape. This is how I learned to speak Klingon, because it says, by the way, conversational Klingon. I don't know whether you can have a conversation with him. And sold out. There's our pin that has sold out with our red alert sound for tonight. That means that's sold out. You're going to hear that on the Klingon Dictionary, too. You will have a ball speaking Klingon to all of your friends. Give us a call, and you can have it right now by dialing 1-800-345-1515. Here is the newest of the plaques that we have from the, I would call it the Kirk collection. This is Admiral Kirk, and this is a limited edition of only 500. This is probably the smallest edition that we have of anything signed by William Shatner as the leader of the Starfleet QVC, or the Starfleet Enterprise, and it's a QVC exclusive at $150 or 3 payments of $50 each on Easy Pay. It measures 12 by 15, and it has the look of the visage of Admiral Kirk. Extreme limited edition, and this is from Star Trek The Motion Picture, #1. I'd never seen the gray uniform other than in this film. These uniforms were only used for that film?
I I think those are the ones that were stolen afterwards. I'm not sure what happened to them.
It's a great look, too, that serious, as you said, maybe the Greek, a little bit of Alexander looking forward there as you're looking into the future with the look. DeForest Kelley and Michael Dorn both told me when they were here that when they were putting their characters together, they found a lot in the case of Michael Dorn, he found a lot of Worf in himself, and D. Kelley said he found a lot of McCoy in himself. Did you draw a lot of Kirk from you? You actually said in one interview, too, that Kirk does what you do.
I hope I said that he does what I would like to do. Every role that you play, you bring yourself to it. You can't escape what you are. So I'm invested in there.
Did you like playing heroes? Or you've always been a hero to us. T.J. Hooker was a hero. The fella in the Barbary Coast was a hero. Kirk was a hero.
I always tried to think of them as rounded human beings, and let the heroics take care of itself. Best way to do it.
Mm-hmm. You had a lot of conflict in Kirk, though, too.
Well, that's true, and that of course is built into the construction of the story, where Spock represents the mental and logical side, and the Doctor the more emotional, and somewhere in between, vacillating between both points, is the captain, who usually is on the horns of some dilemma and having to make an intellectual or emotional decision.
Your friend D. Kelley said he thought that those three characters were actually parts of one unit, that he actually felt that over time, McCoy, Spock, and Kirk were actually the three sides of what would be one complete human being.
Funny, I always thought I was the complete human being.
As the captain, right? Here he is, too, a limited edition.
Speak to DeForest about that.
Only 500 exist, and this is a very limited photo, too. The 8x10 is against that space background that all of the Star Trek collectibles have been put on, and it has a nice acrylic top with the metal beads on the top. 1-800-345-1515 for it. Since we're talking about the heroes and people, you were some wonderful quotes I found from you, but they always fill in. You said, great parts come rarely to an actor. Most of the time it's slugging away in run-of-the-mill endeavors. And yet you seem to come upon great part after great part after great part. Do you feel blessed in that way?
Oh, I'm blessed.
Very lucky?
No question about the fact that I'm blessed. My whole life has been blessed. Great parts do come along very infrequently, and actors get known by those parts, and invariably they've done a lot before and do a lot afterwards, and people remember them for that one thing that struck a chord. You know.
Was it hard to differentiate the heroics of Captain Kirk from the heroics of T.J. Hooker? Two different kinds of heroes?
Well, I always thought that Kirk was a man who made noble choices, and the Hooker character made angry choices.
There was a lot of anger in Kirk, too. You saw him make a lot of brash decisions out of anger,
But if I were trying to differentiate,
it was noble and anger. Did you like playing them both?
Yeah, I enjoyed the experience of those performances very much. Kirk, I remember being very grateful for the job, and on Hooker, I did a lot of writing and directing things as well as acting, and began to broaden my horizons.
Hooker, you did a lot of that in. I mean, it was like at that point you were really given, you had the stature, you had the draw, you had the power that so few get in Hollywood, that you were allowed to direct. Is that where you really, as you said, Leonard really sort of toughed it out and forced his way into film, doing the directing of Star Trek 3. Was it as difficult for you to direct on the Hookers, to do the same thing?
No,
did you have to...
you put your finger on exactly that. As the lead in a series, you're in a particular position and can call those shots if you care to.
Is there a lot of pressure? If you're the star in the series as opposed to a supporting actor, not only do you have to be the star of the series, but is there a lot of pressure on you to carry the series? too, being the...
Well, there always is. I had a certain confidence in other skills of mine other than acting, and wanted to protect as much as I knew how the character and the stories and all. So I tried to contribute as much as possible to the production of any show that I'm in, and try and fulfill what the writer had in mind and the producer had in mind, but to bring my own thing to it and to help as much as possible. It is making a film is very much a team sport, if you will, and you've got to play on the team. You can't go out and strive only for yourself.
But there has to be one captain, and that is the director.
That's
at
right.
one point, so there has to be that too.
That's exactly right.
The limited edition plaque I hold in my hand is a very special one. There are only 500 that exist. Most of our other plaques have been 1,000 limited editions or 2,500 limited editions. And of course, the more limited the edition, the more collectible it really is to you. See, 10665, the lowest edition we've had ever, and it is of the captain. And it's a very special picture too. It comes from the first motion picture, when Star Trek did make the leap from the small screen to the silver screen and actually started what has become a trend. I mean, you look at the Addams Family jumping, they're going to be doing things, the Brady Bunch is actually going to try and go to a film. Yeah, I mean, this is the one that started it, and this is a visage of the captain making his transition from small screen to silver screen. And a lot of reasons, this is one that should be on your wall. See, 10665. Hello there, you're live on the air with Bob and William Shatner. What's your name, please?
Lillian Brown.
Hello, Lillian, where are you from?
Glasgow, Kentucky.
Well, nice to meet you. Please say hello to William Shatner.
Hello, William.
Hello, Lillian.
What's on your agenda tonight?
Well, I ordered C10869 for my husband.
Which was the desk ornament.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a nice one, laser cut and all. Something very special, and it's the national launch of that piece, too. That's not available in any Star Cons or anywhere else. That is only available here.
Yeah, my husband, he loves Star Trek, and we watch it all the time. I ordered the Enterprise pewter Next Generation, and he was wondering if there's going to be the next a copy of the Enterprise that you're showing now, you know, the old Enterprise.
Yes, we have.
Pewter.
Yes, we have had that in the past. It is currently out of stock, and you might see that in January.
In January?
Yeah, because December's show is going to be all Deep Space Nine.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Well, nice to hear from you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The Admiral Kirk autograph plaque is brand new, and it's the first time we've ever offered it. Put it on Easy Pay. Makes it a lot easier to own. 3 payments of $50 spread out over the next 3 months. You'll make the final payment in 1993, but you'll be able to give it for Christmas if you're purchasing it for someone. 1-800-345-1515. Still available, the Captain Kirk Laserdisc plaque, and that's $199.50. And if you'd like to have that, please give us a call now at 1-800-345-1515. And also, Kirk and Spock. This is a limited edition of only 1,000, and it is the two main folks on the original Enterprise. These are the two that had such a great relationship, too. $215 the QVC price, and that, again, is a limited edition of only 1,000. And both signatures are there, Leonard Nimoy and William Shatner, along with the silvered plaque on the bottom and the space background as the mount. It's 15 by 12 at 215 C9533. This is our one time only. As you know, today's special value sold out already, and we can't have you going into a show without something special, and we have made it 2 images of one of the favorite characters that you have written us about so many times on Star Trek. We have a lot of glare on these. We'll try and straighten them up.
Well, it's coming from inside. He's got that star quality about him.
That true is. There he is in Star Trek 6, and that is a limited edition of only 2,500, signed by Leonard Nimoy. And the other one is from the original series of Mr. Spock at the Science Station. Each one is $128. Or 4 payments of $32. It's the first time I've ever seen these on 4-pay Easy Pay. So that is something new tonight, too. They were normally offered for $142.50 a piece, but now you can have them and save the extra money at $128. When this series first came out, I heard stories that Paramount officials were terrified that people were going to think that Star Trek was a show that was promoting devilry and that he was Satan and there was devil worship. There was that kind of fear there?
There was some talk about that. And we at Star Trek stuck to our ears and maintained it, and subsequently obviously proved them wrong, but there was some thought of that.
There was a photograph very near this one, the original shot here, I remember, where he was sitting down and they actually airbrushed the makeup ears off of his ears.
That's right. I didn't know that story. I interviewed Leonard, as I am a great many people. I've been asked to write my reminiscences of Star Trek, and I've begun to do so.
Right.
And in the process have been talking to people connected with the show, the original show. And that was a story Leonard told me just recently that I hadn't heard before.
Didn't they actually force them to do that for a magazine or
they airbrushed his
publicity?
ears out, thinking that they would eliminate the ears when the series went on the air.
How did they manage to stay on?
Well,
Genes?
yeah, there was insistence from Star Trek, and the network and the production company were at loggerheads for a while, and finally we prevailed.
I was mentioning all the firsts that you have been involved in television, and this was one of the first ensemble casts that really was a hit show. Although a lot of people will call me, I'll get letters saying, well, it was never really a top 10 hit, but its hit came after the fact, so to speak. But this was one of the first ensemble casts. Hill Street Blues or St. Elsewhere are shows now where, in fact, at 30-something, we almost expect the drama to be an ensemble cast. But this had never been done before, where you had 6 or 7 stars, or 3 main stars and 4 supporting cast stars as an ensemble, where you all worked equally. Very different for television at that time. And this was one of the main fellows. And Leonard Nimoy has signed both of these. It might be interesting to see him in the two different images that he has cast this show in over the 25 or 26 years now. The first one, as you look at it right here, is Leonard Nimoy as Spock at his science station in the original series. And then you see him as Leonard Nimoy or as Spock in Star Trek VI. I love Star Trek VI. And I'll tell you, I had, I forget who was the guest, I think it was George Takei, and we had only clips, the early clips, the trailer, before the movie came out. And there was a part in the clip where you see what turns out to be your double image phasered and killed. And you wouldn't believe the amount of mail I received here at QVC. Did that show Captain Kirk killed? Is this really going to happen to Captain Kirk? It made me think to ask you tonight, was there ever any time during the original series or during the films where, as Spock was killed off, was there ever a conversation or discussion about killing off Kirk?
Well, if I remember correctly, when I've forgotten which movie, probably 2, or maybe 3, they wanted to kill somebody off, just to heighten the drama. And they contacted me by phone.
Really?
And they said, well, what do you think about killing Captain Kirk off? We need to kill somebody. I said, kill Spock.
Don't kill me. Would you miss him?
Oh, Leonard and I are great friends, sure.
No, I meant if the character of Kirk were killed off in 7, let's say, if there's a Star Trek 7.
Would I miss not playing Captain Kirk?
How would you feel about Captain Kirk being killed?
Rather deadly, actually. I don't know how you would do Star Trek, our Star Trek, without
Kirk,
without all the people. You know?
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why I guess there's been a lot of wondering whether it would be a 7. I mean, everybody's come out and said they'd like to do it, and at another time they said, well, I think 6 was it. Well,
6 was going to be it, but it was so successful that I would think that the studios would take a second look at it.
Right. Has there been any
not to my knowledge
stories? Has there been stories bantered around about what it might be?
I submitted one,
Can you give us a little?
No, I'd rather not, in case they they call me tomorrow and say we're doing it. But if they don't, I'll tell you.
Okay. But you've actually written
just a
synopsis,
a premise, really, more than anything else.
And it has all 7 folks in it.
Sure.
Are you? Let's see here. I'm going to dig
ahead. Try and get a
try and get the story. If you steeled yourself not to tell us, the question would be: are you on Earth or out in the space?
Both.
So we're actually going to go between the two in your premise. All right. I'll leave it go at that. I'll let it go. I know you don't want to get into that. Star Trek is defined by a number of characters, and here are 2 visages of one of the most beloved characters, and that's Spock, created by Leonard Nimoy, who, like Bill Shatner, is what they call a hyphenate in Hollywood these days. Actor, director, writer, producer, all of that.
He's a wonderful guy. I mean, I really adore him, and his wife, and my wife and I, and he and I.
What's he working on now? Do you know?
Well, I saw him a week or 2 ago. He's got a wonderful, a strange story. I think it's wonderful. I haven't read the script, but what he described to me was strange and bizarre and different. And he's been trying to sell it. And when I left him, he was in conversation with somebody who said they were going to buy it. I mean, as a screenplay. So I don't know. He'll make his own announcement in due time if indeed he sold it.
Is it easier for gentlemen like yourselves who have been enormously successful in the realm of acting and directing and producing now? Is it a lot easier for folks like you and Leonard now to write a premise for a screenplay or an idea and have it somebody take it really seriously?
Well, when I was doing Star Trek V, there were some strikes that delayed our production, and I was hung up in the middle of production, and I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't go anywhere, and I started to doodle around with a story, and finally it came out as a novel. I started off as a screenplay, and it came out as a novel, and
Tech War.
And I presented it to Putnam, and they published it, and it got good notices and sold a lot of copies. Now, whether Putnam would have published Tech War if it hadn't been my novel, I don't know. But subsequently, Tech War, Tech Lords, Tech Lab have all sold marvelously. The last one, Tech Lords, no, it was Tech Lab, that hit the 17th bestseller list. The list you see in the airports as you go by?
Sure.
No, 14th. It went from 17th to 14th. As I was passing through, as I was going one way, it was 17th, and when I came back a week later, it was 14th.
Must feel great.
It was incredible. And so there's the 4th novel coming out in the fall, in the wintertime, in January.
I'll have to talk to you later. I'm halfway through a novel.
Tech Vengeance.
Tech Vengeance?
It will be coming out.
All right. I'm halfway through my first.
Is that right?
I've hit that roadblock that every writer hits, where you get to a point and you can't go on. We'll talk later about how to get through it. Hello there, you're live on the air with us. What's your name, please?
Hi, my name is Roxanne.
Hi, Roxanne. You sound awful happy.
I am, very much so.
Great. Welcome to the Star Trek Collector Special. Please say hello to our special guest.
Well, hello, special guest, Mr. Shatner.
Hello, how are you?
I am fine. In fact, I'm quite honored to talk to you.
Well, thank you.
What have you on your mind tonight?
Well, God, I could buy a whole show if I could, but I like a question for Mr. Shatner. Is any possibility of your Tech Lord, Tech Lab series coming to a series, TV, or movie?
Good question. Good
well,
question.
Interestingly enough, the 3 novels have been quite successful, and we're hoping for the 4th, and I'm working on the 5th, which I'm tentatively calling Tech Secret. The novels were taken up by Marvel Comics and made into a comic book. So
yeah, we had them last show.
Did you? So Tech World is the name of the comic books. Then a company, Atlantis Films, has taken it up as a series, as an hour series, and we're in the process of selling it, calling it Tech War. Everybody liked the different sound of the different names as an hour series. And a company also came to me to make an animated feature-length movie for television. So Magazine was following me around last week, an entertainment magazine was following me around last week while I was riding in competition at the New York National Horse Show. And the copy of this article that they're going to do on me is called The Tech Phenomena, because something incredible has happened with all
picking up
the books and the animated feature, which would then be an animated half hour on for the kids, and the books and the comic books and the series. It's a whole extraordinary other world.
Something else, another explosion is about to happen.
Another explosion is about to happen.
Well, there you go.
Will there be something in the near future, something I have something to look forward to then?
Both of us.
Well, we appreciate you giving us a call, and look for Tech War. We'll both be looking for it, I guess.
We certainly will.
All right. Have a nice afternoon.
Thank you, and you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
We have both of these here to pick from. This is one of the first times we've ever given you a one-time only where you have a choice. C11710 is a collective item number, and it is available to you as Spock from the original series or Spock from Star Trek VI. And that's a one-time only price of $128 or 4 payments of $32, and it's the only time we're going to be offering those prices. That's the lowest price you'll ever see on these plaques. Both is a limited edition of 2,500. Stay tuned. We have plenty more to go.
We're QVC, where you can shop at home for the holidays.
In plenty of time for Christmas, QVC presents 3 special hours of jewelry that shines like the stars themselves. Beverly Hills Gold. Sparkling, glittering, each creation shimmering with a look all its own. This Christmas, give a gift of Beverly Hills Gold, a present that will be treasured for a lifetime. Watch for it this Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, right here on QVC.
S marks the spot for item number J12321, the Diamond Ink 5-stone anniversary band ring featured this Wednesday in an hour of Diamond Ink jewelry. This unique design sold out the last time it aired back in February and returns in sizes 5 through 10. It features 5 marquee-shaped Diamond Ink simulated diamonds, each separated by an S bar of gold and prong set in a 14-karat gold band. With an introductory price of just $162.66, this stunning ring makes a perfect gift for anyone celebrating a special anniversary. Keep an eye out for this glittering ring and the other sparkling styles displayed by Kathy Levin during an hour of Diamond Ink jewelry, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific Time.
And welcome back to the Star Trek Collector Special. I'm Bob Bowersox. Our special guest, William Shatner, going to take a break for a minute, get a quick cup of coffee, and he'll be right back to talk to more of you. And in that time, I'm going to get to show you what I think is one of my favorite collections that we have had on our Star Trek specials. We have some more of them back into stock. It is actually coming packed like this for you. It's called Visions of the Final Frontier, and these are actually artists' drawings from the novels, from movie posters, and actual set design drawings that go to the original series and also for the films. See, $88.67. QVC price is $85 or 4 payments of $21.25 on the Easy Pay program. Shipping and handling is $4.22. Now, what makes these so interesting is who draws them. When you take a look at all these, I'm going to go through each and every one for you as you take a look at them. Now, this is cover art for My Enemy, My Ally, a Star Trek novel of 1984. This was drawn by Boris Vallejo, who is one of the greats, and there is, of course, Captain Kirk. All of these, by the way, measure 14 by 11, and they are all suitable for framing. They are on expertly high-quality glossy paper. Even the back white is nice and glossy, and you can see all of those colors come through perfectly in the prints. Now, here is a cover that was done for The Web of the Romulans, a Star Trek novel of 1983, and it is again by Boris Vallejo, and it's one of the great many science fiction and fantasy pieces that Boris has done. You see the 3 main stars there, Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner, and DeForest Kelley. Here's something from The Next Generation. Now, this is cover art for Doomsday World, a Star Trek Next Generation novel done in 1990, and this is by Keith Birdsong, who has distinguished himself and really come to the forefront of all of the Star Trek novels. 4 payments of $21.25 will bring this entire piece to you. This is one of the most amazing pieces that you can get as a Star Trek fan. This was the first promotional poster distributed by NBC in 1966, and it was used to introduce the original Star Trek series. It is considered the classic Trek image, and though dated in its look, it is often imitated by other movie and television show posters these days. This was the original poster done by NBC. This is another Next Generation, and it is a very special one that has Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis on it. It's cover art for Power Hungry, a Next Generation novel of 1989, and the artist is Cintron. And this is one of my favorites, Jean-Luc Picard and Data together in one picture. It's cover art for Exiles, a Star Trek Next Generation novel of 90, and again, that's Keith Birdsong. I'll show you the rest of them as soon as we get back from drawing the next lucky number.
A new 4-digit lucky number is drawn every hour on the QVC cable shopping channel. Every time that number matches either the first 4 digits or the last 4 digits of your QVC membership number, and you notify QVC by phone that you have a match before the next lucky number is drawn, your QVC account will be credited with 10 QVC Shopper Dollars. And you'll also be automatically entered in all 5 of the next day's $1,000 QVC Shopping Spree drawings. If you don't already have a QVC membership number, get yours now. It's completely free, no purchases necessary, and there's absolutely no obligation. Just call toll-free 1-800-345-1515, and a QVC membership number will be assigned to you on the phone.
6084, that is your current lucky number now, 6084. Let me show you the rest of these really quickly. Now, there are 2 posters in here that are very special, never before published, and they are only in this set. These are 2 paintings commissioned by Gene Roddenberry for Star Trek the movie, and they are by Robert McCall, famous for his 2001 A Space Odyssey paintings. They are permanent displays at the Smithsonian's Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. That's one of them. Whoops, I thought the other one was right there. Let me show you the other one real quick if I can find it very quickly for you. And here's the other one. This one right here. These 2 are on display at the Smithsonian. Here is a set design for Star Trek the Motion Picture. That's Voyager. You remember that? Here's the Enterprise shooting away from Voyager, which turns out to be Voyager. There's the Enterprise. And that was actually a drawing for a set design on the first movie. Here's a drawing from the set design for the original series. This is created to represent a city on the planet Eminiar 7 in A Taste of Armageddon, a rare shot of the few matte paintings done for the original TV series. There's Leonard Nimoy as Spock, great painting of him, and that one was done by, this was for a novel, Spock's World, and it was done by Joseph Casatari. Here is another original series set design, and it is really quite a beauty done. That's A Taste of Armageddon. I apologize. The other one was Ralph McQuarrie's Starfleet headquarters. Here's an unusual Next Generation conglomerate of aliens, and here is a beautiful detailed futuristic city that has a vision of Starfleet headquarters in the 23rd century in San Francisco. And unfortunately, this design for Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home was never used because of its production cost, and this is the first time that has ever been published. All of these are $85, $21.25 is the Easy Pay program, $21.25 4 times is the Easy Pay program on this. Still available, that William Shatner autographed cachet, 25th anniversary. Now, this is actually one of 25,000, but we have only 5,000 of them, and those are the only 5,000 that have been autographed by Bill Shatner. $99.75 or 3 payments of $33 1/4. I was hoping to that Bill would be here when we got to this. Maybe I'll ask him when he gets back from his short break. But this is one of the great series stories, and it also ended up being the basis for the film Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. This is a scene taken from Space Seed, which was one of the one of the great series stories starring Ricardo Montalban as Khan Noonien Singh, a genetically engineered human from the 1990s, actually. And his Botany-based spacecraft, which was a prison craft, was found floating in space by the Enterprise, and Captain Kirk met Khan right there. 1-800-345-1515, C9433. The QVC price is $190. Shipping and handling is $597. And available to you right now at 1-800-345-1515. Shipping and handling is $597, as I said. It is 15 by 12. The photograph is an 8 by 10 glossy taken right from the original scene. Both the signatures of Ricardo Montalban and William Shatner on here, and Bill Shatner has just joined me again. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I was going to ask you about working with Ricardo Montalban.
He's a wonderful guy, a total romantic, a great Latin lover of life. You know, he's filled with the juices.
And he made one of the greatest evil villains because he made you love him. I've always believed that the best villains are not the ones that scare you to death because of their horror, but because they are so normal and that they're so likable. He was really a likable villain.
A wonderful man.
Yes, indeed. Did you have fun with him on the set?
Yes, I had seen him long time ago in a musical on Broadway.
Right.
That's how far back it went, and I reminded him of it, and he got a kick out of the fact that had been early in his career. And
now, was this when you were doing Shot in the Dark or
right,
Susie
when I
Wong?
I think it was Susie Wong. So I was just starting out, and here was the star on Broadway that I went to see, and he was dancing, kicking his heels up, and then went on to the movies. And I had known him. I've forgotten where I'd met him a long time ago, so I've known him over the years. But this was the first opportunity we had to work together.
You know, he is really an embodiment of what I think was one of the great things about Star Trek, and that was the casting. Everybody seemed to be picked perfectly for their role. You couldn't see Spock done by anybody but Leonard. You couldn't see Kirk done by anybody but you, and Scotty done by anybody but Jimmy Doohan. I could not imagine anybody else doing Khan.
He had the wonderful flair. He has a wonderful dramatic flair.
His motions when he spoke, the way he would turn his hand to make a point. This was a scene where you, this was before he really was showing himself as being the bad guy. You had invited him to a state dinner on the Enterprise to welcome him to the 23rd century. And he was, I think you were sizing each other up in this photograph.
Well, it looks like we're sizing each other up.
That's right. $190 the price. C9433. Hi there, this is Bob. You're live on the air. Our guest is William Shatner. What's your name, please?
I'm Glenn Johnson from Gainesville, Florida.
Well, hello there, Glenn. How are you?
Oh, real good. How you doing, Mr. Shatner?
Well, Glenn, yourself.
Oh, I'm excellent now that I get to talk to you.
What do we have for you? What's on the way from our stores?
I bought the Admiral Kirk commemorative plaque.
I'm glad you were able to get that because it is a very limited edition.
Oh, yes, I understand.
Sure.
I love to get the stuff that's going to be rare.
What is it about Admiral Kirk that intrigues you?
Well, it's not just Admiral Kirk. It was the whole series from start to end. I've always loved it. My mother used to sit me down when I was a baby to watch it.
No kidding. Yeah. Is there any reason now that you, or anything now that you would like to ask Bill Shatner about Star Trek?
Well, not really to ask him, but I just hope he continues with the Star Trek tradition, and they really do some more with it.
We'll try our best.
Well, I appreciate it, Mr. Shatner. I think, everybody really loves Star Trek. It's the one thing everybody can look at and just say, we wish things could be that way.
Absolutely.
That's a very good analysis of why it's so popular, I think.
The high-mindedness of the whole series.
Well, it's the future is bright and people do good things.
Right.
Definitely. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Have a good day now.
You too, Bob.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
1-800-345-1515, our phone number, $190 the price for one of the great pieces. And this is one of the very few items that we have that commemorates a single episode. In fact, it's the only one that I know of other than the reunion, the reunification that we had with Leonard Nimoy when he was on Next Generation. That's the only other specific image that we have from a specific episode. And this is the only one from the original series. And it ended up being the second of the movies. Nicholas Meyer likes Space Seed. Is that why he decided to do that as the storyline?
Well, I think Nick Meyer has a flair for telling Star Trek stories, and he's been instrumental in a number of the movies. I think he had a great deal to do with the dialogue in Star Trek 4. A lot of the humor is his. And of course he wrote and directed 2 as well as 6. So he's in there as a major contributor to Star Trek lore.
Any discussion about him in 7? Is his name ever mentioned when 7 is brought up?
No, I haven't. 7 has not really been brought up.
Just as your...
No, I haven't heard any mention of anything like that.
190, if you'd like to have the Montalban Shatner autograph plaques. Both of them are consummate actors and will live on in their roles with the Trek fans. If you'd like to have 2 of the great roles, there's Kirk and Khan Noonien Singh, and that's C9433.
What was that first name?
Khan.
Noonien.
Noonien Singh.
That's really good. I'd forgotten about that second name.
Right. It's actually 3. Most people think of him just as Khan, but he did have the 3 names. The Captain Kirk Laserdisc plaque, C9444, that has always been a popular piece here at QVC. Always hundreds of them each show, but there are only 2,500 total. So we are getting pretty close to the end of it. It is all done on gold, and there are 3 images of our captain on there, plus the Enterprise, $199.50 or 3 payments of $66.50 on the Easy Pay program. Also, don't forget, and this one is, again, an extreme limited edition, which means it's already limited here tonight. $150 the QVC price, 3 payments of $50 on Easy Pay, see 10665, and that is Admiral Kirk from the first motion picture. Also, I think important because it's the image of Kirk, the character, created by William Shatner, in the first transition from small screen to silver screen. I think it's an important shot for that reason, too. This is another real popular one, the 2 captains. We have James T. Kirk and we have Jean-Luc Picard, and both signatures, William Shatner here in silver ink and Patrick Stewart in silver ink underneath. It says, "To boldly go where no one has gone before." This sort of appropriated the Next Generation language in that. I'm wondering when you started hearing a little bit about changing the man to the one.
I don't remember, but exactly when, but it became an issue. To my mind, it's mankind, you know. Right. I mean, no one would think that only a man is going to go into space. In fact, I think they're finding that women are much more suited
to space,
to the stress, but they succumb to whatever pressures there were to change where no man has gone before.
Right.
To where no one or no
where
person.
No one has gone before, yeah. This poster brings up what TV Guide dug into so greatly in that article for a while. We have the 2 captains here, and there's always going to be the comparison between the 2. It's my personal opinion that I would serve under either one of you.
Well, there you are.
Because both of the characters had the qualities of a leader. But the question begs to be asked, what do you think of the character of Jean-Luc Picard? I know that you would respect Patrick Stewart for his great history.
Wonderful actor. The truth of the matter is, I haven't really seen a complete
Next Generation.
Yeah. I just know that it's very popular. It's done very well by very excellent people, and he's a great actor. So
when I was out at Paramount, he was directing. He's done a lot of the directing out there too, and I hope to be able to talk to him for the same reason I talked to you. He also has a great background in Shakespeare, as you did. And I wanted to ask him this question, but when you're on stage, and as you say, you do the same role 8 times a week or whatever, Patrick Stewart has done the same kind of thing. You can do a character over and over again, day after day, 2 performances on Saturday and Sunday, if you will, and people will not connect you with the role. And yet you can be once a week in a role and be absolutely identified then. You have written before that people actually believe you're James T. Kirk, to the point where there has been some danger connected with it. Is that hard to deal with, going from stage to film, and suddenly people don't let you drop out of the role?
Well, it's, I guess the word would be irksome when you're tired and out of sorts and somebody yells, "Beam me up, Scotty." But for the most part, Star Trek, as far as I'm concerned, has been such a great boon to me. That all these other things that have happened to me subsequent to Star Trek might never have happened. And I love Star Trek. To me, Star Trek's a wonderful show, and if I weren't in it, I'd love to have watched it, you know.
Right.
And I feel that very rarely about things that I do. On Rescue 911, which is a series I'm on now.
Another first for you, too. It was the first of the reality-based shows.
I'm very proud of that show. I can sit and look at that show and laugh and cry with the audience because it's a show I'm proud of. Star Trek is something I'm very happy to be connected with.
Yeah, and for anybody who wants to pick a hero from the series, it would end up being the captain, or in this case, the captains. And you have the best of both worlds here in terms of William Shatner as James T. Kirk and Patrick Stewart as Jean-Luc Picard, both men probably dealing with having to remain that character for an awful long time.
Well, it's no burden, I don't think, for either one of us. Patrick will go on to do the stage and movies and cover himself with makeup and glory.
He will. Now, here are two things that are connected to the uncut sheets. And by the way, those uncut sheets are still available. Although there are only 2,950 of them, the uncut sheets are still available to you at the price of $148.50, I believe that is. Here are two cards that came from that series. And here's the uncut sheets. Take a look. And I want to mention these again. These are exclusive to QVC. Can we see that again? Just for a moment. Yeah, there you go. That's C10896 at $148.50. Those are 33 cards on an uncut sheet. That never happens. They are not available to the public in any other way, and they are original from 1979. And you can order those tonight. They're only $29.50 total, and they are already framed for you. Here are two cards that came from the same company, but that were cut. These, however, were signed by William Shatner. This is called the James T. Kirk, and this is called the Captain's Mission. Both of them signed by William Shatner. Both of them sealed in lucite with a lucite stand, and they're about 3 by about 4, and with the stand they'll stand up about 3.5. And both of them are done from 1979. They're $100 a piece, or 4 payments of $25 on the Easy Pay program if you'd like to own it. We look at Captain Kirk here, and I have a question I've always wanted to ask you, because we saw so much of James T. Kirk on 79 episodes, but is there ever anything, and you helped create the character, is there anything that you secretly know about James T. Kirk that we might not have known, that has not come out in 6 movies or 79 episodes? Or anything that you would like to have seen him do?
Well, that's a difficult question. I'd have to think of something very quickly, and it's too important a question to give you a flip answer on. As I say, I'm just happy to have been a part of it, and the 79 episodes covers a lot of ground. Whether there were other stories that might have been told, those are things I don't even think of anymore.
Somebody said to me, who obviously hadn't seen the episode with Miramani, he said he probably never got married, but you did. You ended up marrying the Indian lady. But there really isn't anything that we didn't see Kirk do. You were a gangster and a piece of the action. You were an old, you aged?
With Kleenex.
That was how they did that?
We didn't have expensive
Didn't have latex makeup?
No. So we did makeup and spirit gum on
with Kleenex. That's how you aged McCoy and all of you. You aged with Kleenex.
The things I vividly remember, the Kleenex and the spirit gum on my face was something that was an impression I
must have been awful tough to get off.
That was it.
But nowadays they just slap latex on you.
Well, it's a lot more scientific now.
But it's still glued on, and it still hurts when they pull it off.
That's right.
The two shots you see here, this is James T. Kirk as the captain, and this was released in 1979, and this again is that gray uniform that only came with the motion picture. And here he is standing in a shuttle, in one of the shuttles from the shuttle bay, which, by the way, is made of titanium, and we will have some titanium earrings on soon that will match that necklace that is already sold out. $100 the QVC price, or 4 payments of $25. See 10909. Both of these are plaqued in the front, and both of them done in lucite. Hi, this is Bob. You're live on the air with me and William Shatner. What's your name, please?
Good evening. This is Candy from Zionsville, Indiana.
Well, hello there, Candy. Say hi to William Shatner.
Hello, William.
Hi.
Very nice talking with you. I've waited many years to have this opportunity.
Well, thank you.
We're all great fans of yours here.
Thank you.
And what was on your agenda for tonight?
We did a lot of jewelry this evening for relatives and nephews and cousins, and then also the tribbles.
Oh, did you?
We love the tribbles. We can never keep enough of them here. Children come to visit, and they seem to vanish.
They are great little cuddlies, a lot of fun to play with.
Well, in fact, we have 3 small dogs, and each of them select their own, and they kind of carry them with them throughout life, I think. But they're great fun, and we love them.
Just don't feed them.
No, no, we know better than that. I did have a question for Bill Shatner, if I could.
Go ahead.
When The Wrath of Khan, Star Trek II, premiered, there was a great deal of hype about the fact that 2 endings had been written in that screenplay. And having seen the film many times, of course, we know that Spock gets killed off, whether he wanted to stay with the series or not. Was, in fact, there another ending to that screenplay?
Well, there was. What I think happened was a shot was added. At the very last shot was added, which was a trucking shot through the forest to the sarcophagus, which we presumed Spock to be lying in, thus implying that there was more to be heard from. That shot was not included until late in the production of the film, shortly before it was released, and I think it was because conversations with Leonard were going on, indicating that he may have softened on his stance about wanting not to return.
Right.
That's very possible, yeah.
And that's probably where the double ending story came from.
And I imagine that was it. And also in the ending of Star Trek VI, of course, whose idea was it to use the signatures as a means of more or less signing off on the last great adventure?
You know, I'm not sure whose idea it was. It may have been Nick Meyer's, but I'm not sure. But very effective, I thought, when we all assumed that this was the last movie. And of course, whether it is or not, I don't know. It is, as far as I know, in fact, the last movie. But nobody was quite prepared for the picture to do as much business as it did.
And it really did, too. Well, we think...
Yeah, it was. It was wonderful. When it premiered here, there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
Oh, absolutely.
When those signatures came up on the screen at the end.
Well,
but it was wonderful. Thank you so much for letting me speak with you.
Oh, it's been our pleasure. Have a good day now.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Now, these cards are very special. Only 999 of each card exist. They are the originals. They're not reproductions. They're from the actual set, which was produced for Star Trek The Next Generation. They are an exclusive with us, and they are signed by William Shatner, and they come with a certificate of authenticity. Again, let me stress, these are very limited. Only 999 of each exists, and they are the original cards. They are not reproductions. A lot of times you see reproductions of sports cards. That does not happen here. Now, they come from a set that we have the uncut sheets for, and that's C10896. And these uncut sheets are $148.50 if you'd like to have yours. What makes these so interesting is that uncut sheets are never released to the public. And not only are they never released to the public, they're never coming to you framed like we have them tonight. And there are only 2,950 of them total. Several hundred of them have already been ordered if you would like to have them. See 10896, and these are the original collector's cards from Star Trek The Motion Picture in 1979. A real, rare collectible for you, 148.50.
Greetings, Earthlings. You're watching Star Trek on QVC.
Introducing Sentimental Favorites by Iris Lane, our brand new collection of romantic jewelry fashioned in the vintage styles of days gone by. Jewelry inspired by strikingly unique, antique designs you just don't see these days. Revel in the past with jewelry designer Iris Lane and the premiere of her Sentimental Favorites jewelry collection. This Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific on QVC.
Saturday morning, step into an elegant Parisian parfumerie, the Yves Rocher Parfumerie. It's 2 lavish hours of the finest French fragrances and cosmetics inspired by the beauty of nature itself. We'll introduce Yves Rocher's most daring fragrance yet, Huitième Jour. And you'll enjoy a brand new item just perfect for holiday gift giving, a festive glitter lipstick and compact set. It's all found in the Yves Rocher Parfumerie this Saturday. Please join us at 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, here on QVC.
Hi there, welcome back to the Star Trek Collector Special for November. I'm Bob Bowersox, and our special guest is actor William Shatner, who created the hero of the show, James Tiberius Kirk. And welcome back to our final hour. They go quickly at QVC. We have one pin here. We were just looking at it together and noting that the Live Long and Prosper hand sign, which this pin actually is made for. It's a beautiful pin. One pin could be a tie tack for the gents. It can be a lapel pin or a hat pin for the ladies. It is done very heavily in the gold tone, and it's quite heavy in its whole signs, its whole feel too. The piece is $19.25 normally, and it's still in its introductory period. We cannot keep it in stock. $17.48, J16133, if you'd like to order it. The hand signal was created by Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, it was his thought in one of the episodes, one of the early episodes, about what he would say as a greeting, and it just was there for him.
Did he come up with the phrase "live long and prosper" and peace and long life?
I don't believe he came up with the phrase. I think Theodore Sturgeon did, but I'm not sure of that exactly.
They're great pins, and they really do stand out when you have them on a lapel. There's no doubt about that. I have one and wear it once in a while on a hat, and people always ask me where I have it. It's exclusive in this format. You can buy something like this at the StarCons, but they are quite a bit thinner. They're really flimsy, like little tin stamps. This is a cast molded piece, quite heavy, and the ones in the StarCons have "Live Long and Prosper" in words across the bottom. This is just the sign for the insider. We touched momentarily on the book, the Tech War and the Tech Lab books, etc. For somebody who may have missed these or has not seen them, which would mean you'd have to have been out of the country or out of the planet for a while, where did this idea come from?
Well, I was dealing with science fiction at the time, and I started to write about a cop in the future. I had known policemen, having worked on the series involving a policeman for many years. So I put a policeman in the future, and I made it 200 years in the future because that just came to mind.
It's quite a bit in the future.
It was quite a bit in the future, but so the books, Tech War, Tech Lords, Tech Lab, Tech Secret is coming out soon.
Right.
Are 200 years in the future. The comic books, which Marvel Comics decided to publish, and they're doing the graphic novelization, as they call it, of the novels, as well as additional material. I wanted to put that 50 years in the future, thinking that if we made films of it, which looks like we're going to do, I could more easily use the architecture of today.
Right.
If we shoot it in Toronto, which we might do, Toronto is a marvelous amalgam of modern buildings and old buildings. So 50 years ahead of time, did not seem an inordinate length of time, and still keeping the futuristic science fiction aspect.
Yeah, they're great books. They really are. And as a science fiction lover, I have always really enjoyed finding a new mythos, if you will, of what you've created. You not only create characters, but you create a whole feeling, a whole society.
Well, I wanted action, and so I have the lead character chasing the bad guys through every novel. He's after somebody,
right,
and an adventure befalls him along the way.
And for you viewers, you will be, we are in the process of putting together a package of tech books, as I believe it. And we'd hope to have them for tonight, but putting together products is a difficult problem sometimes. We will have it solved by December, I am told, by the powers that be. So keep your eyes open for those. Hello there, you're live on the air with Bob and William Shatner. What's your name?
Betty.
Hello, Betty. How you doing?
Hi. Hi, Bob. Hi, Mr. Shatner.
Hi, Betty.
Where are you from?
I'm from Gloucester, New Jersey.
All righty. And what you after tonight?
Well, we got C10665, the Kirk plaque, and S3869, the Klingon dictionary.
Oh, you're going to love that.
Well, actually, it's from my granddaughter. She's 6. And
she probably speaks Klingon already. Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, she loves Worf. I mean, we are all big Star Trek fans. And the child is just learning to read. And she's already interested in, you know, how do they talk Klingon and all that. So I thought she'd get a kick out of it.
She's going to love the tape because it has Worf on it. Michael Dorn does the audio tape that comes with it.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons I got it, because she is so infatuated with Michael Dorn.
You know, it's not hard. You have to sort of change the way your mouth works, but it's not hard to learn to speak Klingon. You have to stick your tongue in.
You have to get that sound.
Yeah, yeah. Well, enjoy it.
Oh, thank you. I mean, 6 years old and...
How about playing a word game before you go?
Sure.
That's what those tones mean, and we'll play the word game as you probably know how to play it. Anybody else at home can play along, okay?
Okay.
The only people that can't play are Bill and me.
Okay.
And I don't even know what you're talking about.
We're going to play a word game showing you a scrambled word on the screen. It's going to pop up, and you'll have a clue from me, and you'll have 20 seconds after that to unscramble it. And if you do so, we'll have somebody spin the prize wheel for you, okay?
Okay.
All right, take a look. This is a military rank. A military rank. Good luck.
Sergeant.
Sergeant, you say?
Sergeant.
I think you might have it. Let's make sure. You got it. Sergeant was right.
You got it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here's Eileen. She's going to spin the wheel for you. Between 50 and 250 shopper dollars up there. And around and around and around she goes. Betty, is it?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be shopping with 50 QVC shopper dollars.
That's wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and that'll be in your account in about 24 hours. Please stay on the line so we can properly credit you with that.
Okay.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Have a good night now.
You too. Goodbye, Mr. Shatner. It was nice speaking with you.
Nice speaking with you.
Bye-bye.
I was just in New Jersey.
Were you? That's right.
At a horse show.
We're going to talk about your horse love in just a minute, because I have done a bit of that. You inspire me to want to get back to it, just the way you talked about your horses. Right now, though, it's the Live Long and Prosper pin. It's a great pin, and believe it or not, it has become kind of the secret sign between trekkers. I mean, everybody does that, and to wear the pin, especially an exclusive pin like this that is heavy metal and beautifully done, this is something by all means that you want to have if you're a Trek fan. 1-800-345-1515. I was just explaining to Bill that I have played this game numerous times. My brother is a killer at it. I mean, he knows every bit of trivia about Star Trek. I'm not that good. But I think one of the great things about the board game, the trivia game that we have here, is not only that it's a great trivia game, and it'll test your knowledge on 4 different levels, Warp 1, Warp 2, Warp 3, and Warp 4, Warp 1 being the easiest, 4 being the difficult. But it is a set of 200 of the niftiest collector's cards I have seen for Star Trek ever. I'll show you as many of them as I can in a moment. First, you take a look at this. This is $39.50, and it is one of only 200,000 games worldwide that have been created in the Star Trek game. Now, the thing about it is But the first 50,000 will have this poster, and this is not the box. This happens to be the box cover. Here's the box back here, and it happens to be the cover. But here is an actual numbered photograph or a numbered print of the actual painting done by Keith Birdsong, who, as I mentioned a little earlier, is the Star Trek artist who has really pushed himself out. There's that Live Long and Prosper right there, too. This is C10860, and it is a limited edition of 200,000, but the poster is only 50,000. The first 50,000 folks who buy the game get the poster. It is packed inside the box, but only in the first 50,000. C10860. Hi there, you're live on the air with Bob and Bill Shatner. What's your name, please?
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Bill, this is Joe from Greensboro, North Carolina.
Hello, Joe. Say hello to Bill.
How are you, Mr. Shatner? It's a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you, Joe.
I have a question for you, Mr. Shatner. The camaraderie that's shown in Star Trek V, which you directed, between you and DeForest Kelley and Leonard Nimoy, is so natural. Do you feel that when you're off camera on the set?
We're very good friends. The three of us are wonderful pals. I spent a lot of time with DeForest on Star Trek VI, for example, when the story cast us together, and he's a very good friend, and Leonard is one of my dearest, oldest friends. And yes, the camaraderie is very much a part of
I don't think you can get that naturalness on film if it isn't there.
Well,
in
maybe
reality.
you could act it. You might be able to perform it, but it's gratifying to know that the three of us are very good pals.
That's right. What did you pick out for yourself tonight?
Well, I got the laser cutout of NCC 1701.
The nice disc or the desk ornament that's out
right.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be nice to have on the desk. It comes with a lucite stand and all, too. It's a launch, too. You're one of the first people in the world that has it. Only you and anyone else who orders it tonight has that. It is available nowhere else.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity. I know we all do. And thank you for letting me talk with you, Mr. Shatner. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you for talking to me.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Let me show you some of these cards, and while I'm flipping through them, we'll get real close to them. I have a question about Star Trek VI. You reminded me of it, and we'll just show these. Again, these are some great collector's cards. There are, by the way, on each card there are 6 questions, 1,200 questions in all, and they range in difficulty from top to bottom. But take a look at the pictures that you're going to get. They're from the original series and from the films. The question I wanted to ask you, Bill, is this. In that scene, that unbelievable scene where you and DeForest Kelley are walking across what looks like a glacier as you have escaped and are trying to find your way back, where were you? Was that a sound stage, or were you actually out somewhere freezing?
There was footage taken actually on a glacier in Alaska, and mixed with footage on a soundstage with plastic snow.
Boy, it's so real.
It cut together beautifully.
It made me very cold.
Yeah. Made me very dirty.
Yeah, you have those little plastic snowflakes everywhere.
Blowing up your nose and everywhere else.
Yeah. Were you at the glacier actually, or did they just bring that ship
No, they didn't need the actors to go. They only needed the stand-ins, but the doubles. But I would have loved to have gone. I couldn't. I was busy. But they spent 4 days shooting on an Alaskan glacier.
Boy, I'm going through all these cards. You want to hear what some of these questions are like?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't answer any of them
because
they get right down to the episodes, though. In the episode, "The Return of the Archons," to what is the society referred?
I've not the foggiest idea.
If I say it, I didn't either. But
okay, who are the Archons?
But you'll probably remember it. The Body. Remember, they were
salt sucker.
They were all part of a society called The Body, and you had to be of the body, or you weren't of the body. That's a Warp 2 question, by the way, folks.
That's only second level?
That's only second
I'm
level.
dead.
Here, I'll read you a 4th level. This is a Warp 4 question.
Okay.
In the episode Spock's Brain, how long does the knowledge gained from the learning unit last?
I dimly recollect they cut off his head and had to put a brain back in or something.
Right, and McCoy got underneath there. It lasts 3 hours.
That's all?
That's a Warp 4 question. In the episode Wink of an Eye, how many Scalosians did Kirk count aboard the USS Enterprise? People know this stuff.
I know.
And that's what's amazing. My brother knows this stuff. I can't believe he does it. Now, to play the game, you have to go start at Starfleet and visit 4 planets, and the board is really quite nice as you take a look at the board. You have to go from 4 planets. You have to go through Romulan space and Klingon space, and you have to pick up a little starship sort of tablet, one of these little guys right here, from each planet that you visit. And then you have to get back to Starfleet, which is in the center. But you can get caught in Romulan space, you can get caught in wormholes, you can lose your warp engine, you can lose your impulse drive. It's like being the captain of the ship yourself. But then you have to answer questions to move around. But to me, it's not only a great game, but some of these pictures. Here, take a look at some more of the pictures as I show them to you. This is Warp 1. Even the Warp 1 questions are somewhat... Who is the chief medical officer on the USS Enterprise?
Wow.
There you go.
Yeah.
We both know that one. Name one episode of the original series in which Kirk says, "Beam me up, Scotty."
Well, I think I've been told that I never said it.
Bingo. You got that one right.
But I think I did. I think that's... I mean, I have the impression I did.
I agree. I have heard the same thing. That Kirk is like, "Play it again, Sam."
Right. He doesn't say "play it again, Sam"?
No.
Maybe he said "beam me up, Scotty."
No. Actually, what Bogart says was "play it, Sam," or just "play it." But he never said "play it again, Sam." Maybe you said something like "beam us up" or whatever, but you never said "beam me up,
I
Scotty."
wish I had said "play it again, Sam."
The classic Star Trek trivia game, C10860. Over 800 have been purchased or ordered so far. If you'd like to have yours, C10860. It's a great set of collectible cards. And since it's a 200,000 set, keep in mind that when you have a set of collectible cards that's only 200,000, you are a really limited edition on these. And you have all of those cards, 200 of them in a 200,000 set, $39.50. If you tuned in a little bit late as we started our show tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, you may have missed what is the ultimate Star Trek collectible. I'm going to take that stand off, or it's going to take itself off.
No, you just don't deal with the stands.
Just knock it off.
The stands are immaterial.
That's right.
It's what's there that counts.
And this is the ultimate Star Trek collectible. All 7 of the original crew, signed by each of the actors in a 16 by 16 framed double-matted piece. And it's called Heroes of the Final Frontier. The photograph is an 8 by 10 color glossy from the Paramount files of Star Trek V. And it is the collectible, if you're a Star Trek fan. $498, the QVC price, with 3 payments of $166. This is the one I have. I decided I would pick this one. This is the one. Because
Did you pay for it, or did they give
it has all of it. All of it. Well, it was kind of a deal we struck.
Right.
And if you would like to have one, you may have it now by dialing 1-800-345-1515. What we have for you is 7 signatures that would take you forever to get. And in fact, it might be impossible to get. As someone said, you would spend more money traveling to all the Star Cons trying to get a hold of it, trying to get all of these signatures. Do you find yourself swamped for signatures at every StarCon?
Well, yeah, but I don't go to many conventions.
Which is why it would be difficult to get your signature,
oh, yeah,
I
it
think.
would be pretty much impossible. I find that people are thrusting pictures in my face to sign, and I see the same people invariably, and it's I've come to the conclusion there's a price on my head, and it is not an act of devotion, but a very commercial effort on some people's parts to get us to sign. So I've taken to signing one and holding back.
Yeah, and that would be why that signature right there is difficult. I have a feeling that Leonard is probably in the same boat.
I know he is.
Yeah, so there at least 2 of these signatures would be nearly impossible to get. $498 is very inexpensive, and again, these are a limited edition. Only 2,500 will ever be made, and it is going to be your opportunity to pick them up right now. We were talking about you and DeForest and Leonard being fast friends. You were a troupe of actors working together, if you will, in the grand old stage, in the grand old sense, probably the most successful troupe of entertainers that's ever been put together, even back in the Elizabethan days. It's very successful. 25 years together?
Yeah.
That's unheard of. In that, is there one moment that you could pick out on the set that you remember as the funniest moment you had on the Star Trek set, be it original series or movie?
The funniest moment that we
Or
had.
one of the funniest moments ever.
The most recent one that I thought was hysterical, I became hysterical. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. We were shooting at night, night for night.
Star Trek 6?
6, yeah. And I was supposed to crawl through a hole, jump up, and help DeForest through the hole. I think we were on our way to that very, on the outside of that very glacier we were talking about, and I jumped out of the hole. And the director yelled, cut, for some reason or other. We had to go back in the hole. And the only way back in the hole was to crawl back in the hole. There was no, like, you couldn't go around and come back. You had to go back in. So I, cat-like, I rolled back into the hole and helped DeForest, who was very sleepy by that time, back into the hole. And we came out again and cut. Something else went wrong. So I rolled back into the hole, and DeForest rolled back into the hole because he's very competitive, especially with me. And he rolled back in the hole, and he got stuck. And we couldn't get him out. We couldn't pull him one way or the other. He was stuck in the hole at 4 o'clock in the morning, holding up production.
With a crew of 100.
Oh, everybody yelling at him. And he was so embarrassed.
And having him here, I can imagine his just being really ticked off about being in that situation.
Well, actually, we were so tired that we became hysterical with laughter.
Sure.
And these high-pitched giggles in front of people who didn't want the actors to break up and not be able to stop. You know, have you ever started laughing and can't stop? Well, that's where we were. And we were holding up production, and there was this dead silence from this 100 group of people.
Come on, come on, come on.
Yeah, please, stop laughing. They didn't. It was 4 o'clock. I wanted to get on with the shooting.
How about the toughest moment? Was there one that was really the toughest? You have said before, I read somewhere that you said that doing the series, you were constantly fighting total fatigue or denying fatigue in yourself. Yeah. Was it that difficult to shoot a TV series?
It is about as debilitating work as it's possible to do. Not only is it mental, where you have to learn 10 pages of dialogue a day. In my case, it was very physical. I was doing a lot of stunts and stuff, and then being there, you know, 14, 16 hours a day, day in and day out. Toughest work, yeah, really tough.
You have the plaque here for you. We're talking about it right now. Heroes of the Final Frontier. Interesting, it would be really nice for you to have this one because it is Final Frontier, which Bill Shatner had such a great deal to do with, from writing to directing to starring in, and that's got to be tough, doing all of that. You're talking about a hard thing to do. We'll talk about that in a second. Hello there, you're live on the air. What's your name, please? Hi, you're live on the air.
Hi.
There you are. What's your name, please?
Hi, this is Nada from Dayton, Ohio.
Hi, Nada. Welcome to our show.
Hi, I'm glad to get through.
Yeah, we have a special guest here tonight.
Oh, I know. I can't wait to speak to Captain Kirk.
Hello, Nada.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
What have you picked out?
I picked out the Live Long and Prosper pin.
Oh, okay. That for you?
Oh, yes. No one else gets it.
How long have you been a fan of Star Trek?
Wow. About 25, 24 years.
There you go, right from the beginning.
All right.
Who was your hero?
It was
James
a toss-up. I liked Kirk and Spock both.
Yeah. It's hard
and
to...
I have two questions.
Go right ahead.
Well, no, actually, one's a question, one is a statement. The Tribbles episode was my very favorite. I love the Tribbles. And I have a question for Captain Kirk. Do you still raise Dobermans?
Yes, I do. I breed Dobermans and I breed American saddlebreds, horses.
Oh, I didn't know about the horses.
Yeah, we're going to talk about them in just a second. I didn't know about the Dobermans, though.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I raise Dobermans, too.
Do you? I'm showing one right now. We've got, I think, 5 points on his championship.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been that lucky. What's his name?
His name is Sterling.
Sterling. Okay, I'll be watching.
All right. Well, thank you for being part of our show, and we appreciate your taking the time to talk to us on the air.
Oh, I'm very tickled to speak to Captain Kirk, I'll tell you.
All right. Have a good night now.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The plaque that we have right here, only one of 2,500, and this is the fourth time we've been able to offer it, so that means they are probably getting really close to the end of the edition, and when they're gone, they are gone forever. $498, the QVC price, a pittance to pay when you can get all 7 of the signatures of your favorite Starship crew. Put it on Easy Pay, too, so you make the final payment in February, but you'll have it to give this Christmas. Any Star Trek fan will be bowled over to get that one. See 10659. It's time now to select the grand prize winner in QVC's weekly sweepstakes. Listen to Ellen Campbell as she explains how our weekly sweepstakes work. Go ahead, Ellen.
Here's how to enter QVC's weekly sweepstakes. The QVC word game is played about once an hour. On a postcard, write down the answers to 3 QVC word games played on the same day. Include the date on which those word games were played, your QVC membership number, and your full name, address, and phone number. Then mail your postcard to QVC Sweepstakes, Box 1515, West Chester, Pennsylvania, 19380. Don't delay, because your entry must be postmarked no later than 3 days after the 3 word games you chose are played. You can mail in 1 entry every day, so you can have up to 7 entries in each weekly drawing. All of last week's validated entries from Sunday through Saturday are now in the QVC prize drum, ready for the drawing of this week's QVC Sweepstakes grand prize winner.
Let's spin the QVC prize wheel and determine this week's grand prize. Let's see what it's going to be. Center, a deluxe home entertainment center including features such as color TV, VCR, AM, FM stereo, compact disc, 3-way speaker system, and much more. And now we'll spin the drum. And Glenn, if you come out here and help me do this, because there are a lot of folks in here. Oh, a lot of postcards. Once more around, all the way around. Whoops, get those guys in there. Woo. And that'll be fine. Thank you, Glenn. Sure. Let's pull it up this way a little bit more. There you go. And we'll get these in here. Fish them all around. And we're talking about a great entertainment center, maybe to watch the Star Trek movies on. Well, more, here we go. And we are talking to Alberta D. Smith of Robersonville, North Carolina. You are this week's grand prize winner in QVC's weekly sweepstakes. Congratulations.
Keep watching for QVC's word games. You could be the next winner in QVC's weekly sweepstakes. We're QVC, where you can shop at home for the holidays.
Discover a uniquely American jewelry tradition. Jewelry that has been meticulously designed and crafted in the Black Hills of South Dakota for over 100 years. Discover the unmistakable beauty of Black Hills Gold as presented by QVC, the new way of shopping.
For easy wear, casual, and career coordinates in bright, colorful styles, be sure to watch Susan Graver Coordinates this Wednesday with host Mary Beth Rowe. she'll present item number A9547, the SG Sport Reversible Jacket. This brand new baseball-style jacket is made of 100% polyester and has the look and feel of real silk. It's designed in a ribbon and tassel print and is fully reversible to solid black for maximum versatility. It's available in teal in sizes small, medium, large, 1X, 2X, and 3X for the introductory price of just $43.64. Look for this sporty design and other Susan Graver coordinates this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Time.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Bob Bowersox, and William Shatner is our special guest, and we're into the final few minutes here. We have a lot to talk about, especially when we get to your horses, because that's something that we both have dealt with, but you much more on a much greater scale, and I know there are a lot of people out there probably wondering what we're talking about. But first, we have to show you something that's a little bit of magic from Star Trek. And I don't think you've seen these yet, Bill. These are quite amazing. You have your choice of any of the disappearing ink sets, what they're called. You actually get 2 mugs that have the transporter where Kirk, Spock, and McCoy will transport in and out of your coffee mug. You have the newest of the disappearing mug sets, which is where To Boldly Go Where No One Has Gone Before, and I won't tell you what happens on that one. And then you have the Star Trek 6 mug, where you will see the Klingon bird of prey appear. Now here is exactly what happens, and I'm going to show you the new one. Take the one in the center right here, To Boldly Go Where No One Has Gone Before. Each one of these, by the way, comes for $27.27 as a set of 2. They're 8-ounce mugs in ceramic. Now when you pour your coffee or your tea or your hot cocoa or your wassail as we get into Christmas into the mug, watch what happens to the mug itself. On To Boldly Go Where No One Has Gone Before, you will have the Starship Enterprise appearing. And there it comes right there. And that is NCC 1701D as you see it appear. And there's the full Starship all the way around as it appears. It says Star Trek The Next Generation and then NCC 1701D. And these are an exclusive to QVC. You can't get this mug anywhere else. You might find the other 2, but not the other ones. And when we dump the water out of this, if I can do this without spilling it all over Bill or myself, and it cools off, we're going to sort of simulate cooling off very quickly by adding ice water to it. But you will see that NCC 1701D disappears as it cools, and we're simulating the coolness. Now just watch it go back and forth. It'll cool down and sort of disappear from the scene. C11706 at $27.27. The QVC price. There it goes, disappearing again. Kind of interesting. You like
modern technology?
Yeah, really. That is ink that's on the mug, and it happens only when you put hot or cold inside there. Let me show you the other one. We can beam out our 3 stars here. Take a look at the beam out, and I'll pour the hot water into that mug now, and you'll watch Kirk, McCoy, and Spock beam off of the Enterprise as they disappear with the heat. And it can be anything from hot water to hot tea or hot coffee or cocoa or anything like that. 1-800-345-1515. One quick question. There was a lot of anti-war sentiment in Star Trek. Was that something that was just scripted, or was that and it happened at a time where America was in a very unpopular war?
Sure. Star Trek reflected its time. We have a display. I think it's still ongoing at the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
And it places Star Trek in the context of its time, and that's part of it. The anti-war and the pro-war sentiments, the conflict in the nation was reflected in the conflicts in some of the stories.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that the whole troop held the same feeling, that it was very important to Gene, it was really important to all of you.
Sure. We were all aware of what was going on and the controversy that the war intended.
I have to assume that it was a big blow when Gene passed away.
Oh, sure. For everybody.
all of you. Yeah.
He was ill for some time before, and it did not come as a shock, but it was not unexpected, but it came as a shock.
C11706, the Star Trek mugs, and that's $27.27. Again, you can have the original, which is the 3 gentlemen beaming off. You can have the brand new one, a QVC exclusive here from Next Generation. NCC 1701D appears and disappears with heat and cold. And then you have the one that we showed you from last show, which was the Star Trek 6, where the Bird of Prey appears and disappears. C11706, your choice of any of them. You get 2 of each one you order. Somebody's beaming on here. There she is. That's Miss Candy beaming on to our bridge here. And she is wearing the Kirk, Spock, McCoy sweatshirt. This is a 50% cotton, 50% polyester sweatshirt. And it comes, I really don't have the sizes here. I don't know the sizes, Tom. Thank you. Large and extra large. C9439. And it's Star Trek's main 3 characters on a brand new sweatshirt. This is a brand new one. And it features the 3 stars of Star Trek. It's only $29.75, beautifully done with fleece on the inside, gathered at the sleeves, at the waist, and at the collar with ribbed gathers. And it has a great rendition of all 3, or a great visage of all 3. Bill, let me ask about your horses. So many people have talked about that. And this is not just an idle pastime with William Shatner. You actually own a complete breeding farm in Kentucky.
In Lexington, Kentucky. The name of the farm is Belle Rev, and we breed American saddlebreds. And
which is what kind of horse?
Well, they're show horses.
Now, see, I grew up riding Western saddle in Denver, and I was on big horses. You said saddlebreds are very small.
No. Saddlebreds are big.
Are they?
Oh, yeah, 16 hands, 15 and a half, 16 hands.
Would I have ridden one?
Oh, yeah, you would have, and you would have looked very beautiful on one, because they're beautiful horses. They show like divers are judged. Divers who compete in a diving competition are judged by form and the way they enter the water and all that. And these horses are judged by their conformation and the speed at which they move, at the action with which they move. And it's a great sport. American saddlebred.
It's an expensive sport, as you said tonight.
Well, it can be expensive. It can be inexpensive. Belle Rev sells all kinds of horses. And,
now, how did you get into that?
Well, I loved the horses, and I started to breed, and then it became a business, and I'm there a lot. I compete a lot.
You just came from a competition in the Meadowlands.
Meadowlands. I did some winning and did some close to winning, and so did my wife. Our farm did a lot of winning. We have beautiful babies and beautiful maid horses.
Does that take up a lot of your time these days?
Yeah, I like to spend as much time as I can in Kentucky, and Belle Rev West has quarter horses. So we cover the spectrum pretty well.
Well, if you need a sweatshirt to work them out in,
there you
have
are.
one for you right there. $29.75, the Kirk, Spock, McCoy sweatshirt. C9439 in large and extra large only. Shipping and handling is $372. Could I buy one of your horses if I wanted to? Or, I mean, you breed them for show, but are they also for sale?
Oh, it's a business, very much so. And the horses that you would buy, the price that would depend on how far along they were trained. If they were Greenbroke, they'd be one price. If they were world champions, they'd be another.
Now, you've had a world champion. Sultan's Great Dave?
Many world champions.
Have you?
Belle Rev has brought out many world champions, and some now are bred on the farm and trained on the farm and have become world champions.
Well, congratulations to you then. Hello there, you're live on the air with us. What's your name, please?
My name is Richard Parker from Middlefield, Connecticut.
Well, Richard, welcome to the Starship QVC and to our captain of the evening, William Shatner.
Hello, Captain Kirk.
Hello from out here.
I'm one of your biggest fans.
Thank you, Richard.
And you have a chance to ask him whatever you'd like. One question.
What was your favorite program that you ever made? In
episode?
Either the movies or through the series.
Of Star Trek?
Yes.
Well, the one that comes to mind instantly is the movie that I had as much as I could to do with Star Trek V. I enjoyed making that, doing that, working on it, perhaps more than anything. And ideas that I wished to express were expressed with some attention to the needs of the studio, but on the whole, pretty much what I wanted.
All right, what did you pick out tonight, Richard?
Oh, I got the cards, the whole sheet.
Oh, the uncut sheets.
Yes.
Boy, is that a great collectible.
Boy, you better believe it. I've
Yeah.
got a bunch of his stuff. I've got one of his plaques hand-signed.
Mhm.
I've got one of the pins. I am a big Star Trek collector. I've got movies and all kinds of other goodies.
Well, glad we could be of service to you tonight. If you need a sweatshirt, this is a brand new one. Very few folks will be wearing this come Christmas time. You might want to think about it, and thank you for being on the show with us.
Hey, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The sweatshirt is a great one. It's solid white background, and as Candy is wearing there, it has Kirk, Spock, and McCoy with NCC 1701 right across the bottom there. And you can see Candy, are you doing the large or you have the large on, so if you like the really oversized, pick up the extra large. You can see the large on Candy, who is 5'4", is going to be a very nice over the slacks or maybe over a turtleneck look. The extra large could be worn almost as a dress. Candy, we have to beam you out of here. Thanks for dropping in. Bye-bye. And we are coming back with William Shatner, and we're going to be talking about your favorite fan again, and these are our one-time onlys, or your favorite cohort, I guess.
Well, he's a fan of mine.
Is he a fan? These are our one-time onlys. You have your choice of either one of the Spock plaques. You have the original series plaque, where Spock is at his science station right here, and you have Spock as in the Star Trek VI, which I believe he is, at that point, is he an ambassador in Star Trek VI?
Is he an ambassador? No,
Or
he was on
an admiral?
It was on the ship, taking over on the ship. Well, he was an ambassador. That's right, he was an ambassador in the beginning of the show.
Yeah, in the beginning, and I think that's what he is wearing here, with all the insignia.
Well, of course he is.
And he is well-dressed. The movie bar pin, you can see over here, by the way, is available tonight. If you call up and ask for the movie bar pin, you can just barely see it on the edge here, but it is in stock tonight, and that's the over-large pin that you find on all the movie sequences. Both of these are signed by Leonard Nimoy, and the question to me, the value to me is maybe to have both of them, to show him in the beginning of the series and toward the end.
You know, he's changed remarkably very little.
Yeah, I know.
His great bones on his face have supported the skin.
He has. He still has the lines from the nose down to the mouth. They're a little more accentuated. His eyes are still as piercing.
Yeah.
Are they that piercing in person? Does he really seem to look through you as he always does on his film?
He looks beyond you.
Does he? He does. And he is, again, one of the great people in Hollywood that does it all. He writes, he acts, he directs.
He laughs a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know. We would never think that looking at him, but he's really quite a character.
He's funny, yeah.
Yeah.
He's really funny.
You used to hide his bicycle all the time.
I played many a joke on Leonard, and he never appreciated it, until now.
And now he looks back on it. Well, let's draw the next lucky number for you, and we'll see if we can make a winner out of you.
A new 4-digit lucky number is drawn every hour on the QVC cable shopping channel. Every time that number matches either the first 4 digits or the last 4 digits of your QVC membership number, and you notify QVC by phone that you have a match before the next lucky number is drawn, your QVC account will be credited with 10 QVC Shopper Dollars. And you'll also be automatically entered in all 5 of the next day's $1,000 QVC Shopping Spree drawings. If you don't already have a QVC membership number, get yours now. It's completely free, no purchase is necessary, and there's absolutely no obligation. Just call toll-free 1-800-345-1515, and a QVC membership number will be assigned to you on the phone.
7488, the current lucky number, 7488. Hope that's yours. Good luck to you. And at $128 a piece, you are getting an absolute steal, if I might use that word, because we have priced these at $142.50, and that is only for the next 9 minutes that it will be $128. Even better, put it on Easy Pay, 3 payments of $47.50 if you'd like to, oh, wrong piece. Nope, that's it. I have 3 payments of $47.50, but actually I think I have the wrong information. It's 4 payments of $32. And if you would like to put it on the Easy Pay program, you can use a credit card to access that. And that is only good for the next 9 minutes. Maybe Spock was your favorite character. Leonard Nimoy is one of your favorite entertainers, or folks that do the work of all the entertaining. And available to you right now. Pick whichever one you would like to have. And I would like to get back to your statement that Star Trek is a modern Ulysses. Maybe somebody hasn't read Ulysses. There's a great...
Well, mythology is a way of plumbing some of the universal needs and fears and emotions of human beings. So mythological stories really exist because they're so human. And Ulysses was a mythological story, the wandering band of travelers who were seeking to get back home.
You were kind of like that. Star Trek crew was a wandering band.
Mm-hmm.
The product we're talking about now, the Spock plaques, there are one time only, and we're only going to offer them for the next 8 minutes at $128. If you like Spock or have always liked Spock, this is the time to call up, because this is the lowest price we're ever going to put on these. And we'll accept your phone calls at 1-800-345-1515 on them. This is the last time we're going to be able to show this to you. See 10896. This is the 1979 trading card framed uncut sheets. I can't stress enough how any Star Trek collector is going to want to have this. Bill Shatner and I were talking about it. This is something that is so rare. It was even rare at the time that it was done. These are the original cards, but they're in the uncut sheets. Now, uncut sheets are never available to the public. These are totally in our hands. All 2,950 sheets that remain. What these were, excuse me, at $148.50, by the way. What these were going to be cards, trading cards, that you would get if you bought loaves of bread, which were available only on the West Coast. A point bread, I think it was called. And every time you bought a loaf of bread, you got one card. There are 33 in the set. Topps released them. Topps is the baseball card company. They released them one at a time in the bread, loaves of bread. They had 2,950 sheets left over in the back of their warehouse somewhere, and we found them. And these are the original sheets. You actually might find them being a little yellowed slightly by age, but most of them are pretty much white. And they are commemorating the motion picture, Star Trek the Motion Picture, which is Star Trek 1. And they're only $148.50. They are not reproductions. They are the real first-run pieces, but they never went through the cutting machine. That makes them extremely collectible, because you don't find uncut sheets. They're exclusive to us at QVC. No one else has them. You will not find them anywhere, not even at the megacons that are going on right now. We even framed them with a double matte and a metal frame and a glass front with an acid bath paper. If you take a look here, they are framed for posterity and for you collectors. This is a true collectible that is only going to be more and more in demand as you take a look at it. $148.50, see 10896. Hi, this is Bob. You're live on the air with William Shatner. What's your name, please?
This is Gloria from Chapman, Kansas.
Hello, Gloria. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Say hello to the captain.
Hello, Captain. And I have a son that's 16 and a half, and he is just dying to talk to you.
Sure.
Could I turn the phone over to him, please?
Of course.
Okay. Mike?
Hi, I'm Mike Fanstill.
Hello, Mike.
I was wondering if you were in forensics or anything like that in high school.
If I were what?
In forensics or drama in high school.
Oh, in drama? Yes, I was doing a lot of performing during high school. I started on stage when I was 6, and then I never really did anything else. I went through my education and went to university and graduated, but I never attended classes. I was always performing someplace, either in the...
You ended up with a BA, didn't you? Business, in business.
A business degree, yeah. After 4 years of college, I had a degree, but I never really...
you never used it?
Well, used it to get an assistant director job in a theater, which started my acting in professional theater.
Which actually started your directing, probably, too.
Right, exactly.
Anything else you'd like to ask?
Yes, one more thing. How'd you get into acting?
Well, I just started when I was very young, doing plays in local little theaters, and gradually built up a reputation in Montreal, and then in Canada and Toronto, and then moved down to New York, and then on to Los Angeles.
Here you go. It's a good path to follow there.
Thanks.
All right. Nice chatting with you, and have a nice night.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.